This is Arts Alive. I'm Lynda Phillippi, and my guest today is Cristi Mason Rivera, who is a local metal sculptor, and she and her husband have a gallery out on Highway 18, so you've probably passed it a million times, but welcome to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Yes, it's great. Awesome. When I saw you walk in with this, I was like, oh, this is amazing stuff.
Cool,
I really love
you.
it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So tell me a little bit about you. How did you get started in metal sculpture?
Wow. Well, metal sculpture specifically, well, as you know, I have the gallery, and my husband and I apprenticed with George Stastny, who's also a local artist, to make the concrete planters. And the concrete has rebar inside for strength, so I had to make a circle, and I had to do a little tiny weld, and that was how I learned to weld from George. And that was the extent of it for maybe 7 years. And
Weld.
Yeah,
Weld.
Well, as far as welding goes, yeah,
Right.
But it was all about the concrete.
Sure.
We were really busy with that. And one day I had lots of scrap rebar laying around, and I made a little sculpture, and I went, wow, that was fun. What took me so long to do that? So, yeah, that was back in about 2015.
So do you just collect like little bolts and nuts and these springs and all kinds of things from everywhere?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah.
Like estate sales and things like that?
Yeah, estate sales, barn sales, scrap yards.
I'm thinking
people
of
drop off things.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Very interesting
I'm thinking
things.
of, you're driving around and all of a sudden you see this estate sale or whatever, and somebody's got a barn full of this stuff in little boxes and all kinds of stuff. And you're like, whatever happens
hitting
to this?
the jackpot.
Boom.
That's right. And I've been known to see things on the side of the road and go, stop
the car.
highway.
I love it. So you do small things, but I understand that you also do really big things.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, this is actually as small as they get. As a matter of fact, this is new for me, doing tabletop sculptures. Because we have the gallery, it's a 2-acre garden. And so I've been making garden sculpture. So, up to about 7 foot tall.
Look. Okay.
Oh, look, there's one.
Oh, my
Look
goodness. That's a great picture of the background, too, isn't it? That's really, what a beautiful
right there
day.
off of Highway 18.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, that is one of my favorite pieces I've done. It was about a little over 7 foot.
Wow.
And it was actually based off a Kandinsky painting.
Okay.
It was obviously one of my inspirations. So, yeah.
So just trying to make everything balance.
Yes. Yeah. Like
and not be
physically balanced and keep
spatially
it from
balanced.
Spatially, yeah.
Sure.
It's all about the balance.
Oh, look at this.
Oh yeah. those are some smaller pieces. It's hard to tell from the photo, but these are a couple feet, and those are maybe about 3 feet tall.
Okay.
So yeah, these I would say indoor sculptures, and those are my outdoor garden sculptures.
Do you sell a lot of that? Do people really love them? I would think they would.
Yeah. When I started, with the metal sculpture, first of all, I had no idea what I wanted to create. So it definitely evolved. But I was surprised when people really liked my work. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Because I can do this and have fun and make a little money.
Well, what's nice about it is it's something you can kind of pick up and put down.
Yeah, these small pieces. Yeah,
for sure. The big ones not so much, obviously. And do you paint? Do you paint them?
No. I seal them.
Okay.
Yeah. Occasionally, I'll throw in a little bit of color, maybe on one part of it, but. There's been a couple I've painted, but in general, no. It's all about the rust.
So if you put them outside, they will rust, and that's okay.
Absolutely. Okay. When I find the pieces, it's mostly rusted. I have to grind quite a bit off to even be able to weld it because it won't make a connection. Oh, look, there's me.
There's you, sparks flying.
Yeah, that's a piece similar to this one, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the same one, but...
So you cut those rings as well?
Yeah, all the rings, that came from a pipe, a metal pipe, and I have a bandsaw, and yeah, I cut all the rings with the bandsaw.
So you're just out there with some big old tools, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, it makes you feel powerful.
I was going to say, yeah, like Vulcan or something.
Yeah.
I love it.
I always said when I learned to weld, it made me feel magic, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's the fire and all the sparks.
Fire
and it's just transmuting something and watching it come together.
Yeah, taking nothing and making it into
That's
something.
incredible. Do you have to put something in between, or do you just melt the pieces to each other?
Yeah, you just melt it to each other.
Okay.
I use a MIG welder, and it has a wire feed, so that metal coming out mixes, you know, and the heat mixes with the metal and melts it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Has anybody ever asked you to do a commission?
Yes, I do. I've done quite a lot of commissions.
Like, I want something over in that corner of my yard, and I want it to be about like this and this.
Right, exactly. You have
Okay.
to, you know, like my work to begin with
Sure.
and be familiar with it. Sometimes I get people and say they want me to build this very specific thing, and that's just not what I do.
Like a little
my work
gilded
is
bird
abstract,
cage.
but
Ooh.
yeah, exactly. So they'll give me the space that the piece they want, where they want it to go, how big, and then I have them, you know, choose a few of my pieces that really, you know, speak to them, and I take all of that and create them. A specific
And just
piece.
feeling your way into the piece.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
So did you have a background in art at all before you and your husband decided to buy the gallery?
Before the gallery, well, I have always been artistic. But not as a professional artist before that point. I was a photographer, though that was
Okay.
my main
All right.
outlet. So I dabbled in that quite a bit. I did some wedding photography, and I would take my friends out and photograph them. All my girlfriends in high school were beautiful girls, so that helped. But yeah, this was kind of an opportunity. I love design. I was actually about to launch into a career in interior design when I bought the gallery.
Really?
I mean, I don't say, you know, I can't say launching into it, but I was beginning my studies.
Okay.
And that's what I was working with my husband in his business, and I had turned over my hats. My kids were a little bit older, and I was ready to do that. And then one day I stopped at the Stastny Gallery and met George Stastny, and he said, hey, you know, it was just kind of an aside that he mentioned that he was selling the gallery and the gardens and was looking for someone to apprentice in this art form.
You know,
so I went home that night
that's so
and had a
amazing.
conversation with my husband.
What do you
It was
think,
like,
honey?
hey, you know, so it's one thing led to another, lots of discussions and trial apprenticeship to make sure we could do it and that we liked to do it. So yeah, the rest is history. We bought the gallery in 2007. But prior to that, most of my artistic background was in dance.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. So dance is really kind of a passion of yours.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And you teach a class.
I do. Yeah, I danced all my life from the age of 5, and but I put that on the back burner. You know, having kids and all that. And there was, you know, once you get older, it's harder to find classes. Also, so when I was, I think, I'm going to age myself, about 38, I started dancing pretty extensively, driving to Portland like 3 hours.
Oh my goodness!
Each way.
Wow.
I mean, round trip.
Yeah.
Like 3 days a week though.
Oh my goodness!
And then I spent a lot of time in LA dancing. But then I'm here and I'm like, there's no adult classes, and so I created one.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah, and it's a adult hip hop, and I choreograph all the dances, and we have a lot of fun.
I know what I was going to ask you. Do you ever do events out there at the gallery?
We have had events. I would like to have more. I hired someone last year actually to help me with that. There's so much opportunity at that property.
Well,
it's
you
a
have so much
beautiful
room.
space. Yeah, it's 2 acres. I have a huge shop. We have a little indoor gallery there too, so we do represent some other local artists. But it's a great space to have events, and I do plan on having more.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I was thinking of it like of a dance event or something, dancing amongst the sculptures. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we have a patio out in front of the indoor gallery, and it's right now it's kind of broken up concrete, and we have a plan to put new polished concrete so that we can have dance parties outside. Because we also, actually, my husband and I do quite a bit of social dancing, so we do all the ballroom and Latin and swing and all that.
Oh, how fun! Yeah.
So we want to have, you know, parties there.
You know, I bet you that would be super popular because so many people do like to dance, and there's never really been something very consistent in this area.
Right.
As you well know.
Yeah, we dabbled in the social dancing many years ago. As a matter of fact, taking some classes right down here at the ballroom.
I remember
but
those.
Yeah, there wasn't much going on. And then we didn't dance for a really long time until maybe 4 years ago. And we've taken it on with quite a vengeance. So
really? Kind of picked it back up?
Oh, yeah. We took it on. So lots of classes every week. We were out almost every night dancing.
Oh, how fun. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a fun life you have. So you make the pots, the big pots. I mean, I'm sure the people who are watching this are pretty familiar with those. You don't have any images of those because
no, but
they're
they
garden
are
pots.
They are up and down 3rd Street.
Right.
So those big concrete planters, that's what we do. And
but
most of our work is residential, but we do obviously commercial.
And you were talking also about the fact that you're doing some carving with rocks these days too.
Well, my husband.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the things. So we obviously learned to carve in the concrete first, and then he ventured into carving natural stone like basalt. So he carves these amazing faces, and there's several of those, maybe 5 or 6 throughout our gardens.
I love it.
Yeah.
When you do a sculpture like this, because you know they do look sort of like little faces. Do you
Some of them, yeah.
Do you name them?
You know, sometimes I name them. This is actually, I think, the only 2 faces I've ever done.
Oh,
it's
really?
kind of a newer thing for me.
Oh,
yeah.
they're so cute,
Most of my
though.
stuff is
Abstract.
super abstract, and sometimes I name them, and most of the time I don't. Yeah, if usually I don't go in creating a sculpture, you know, with a certain thing in mind necessarily.
To see what happens.
Yeah, I see what happens, but at the end, I'll look at the piece and go, this is what I was trying to say, and I'll name it, and that'll sell the piece often because people will identify with that.
So I'm sitting there looking at the one that's by you, and it looks like he's got a little French beret and a cigarette.
Yes.
You know, I think that's kind of cute. It looks very French.
Yes, yeah.
European and fun. I don't know about this one, but I think it's fascinating to me. I love this.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really fun. So what's up next for you? Or do you do special shows out there?
Well, at this time of year, it's freezing in my shop.
Of course, right?
So
it's freezing in here.
Yeah, I'll be getting things cleaned up and preparing for the year. I have shows in the spring and summer, so I do a lot of art shows, actually.
Oh, do you?
I'll do the McMinnville Recycled Arts Festival. I think that's only going into its 3rd year, so I've been doing that. And
this stuff is heavy.
It is. It's amazing.
So
that little tiny piece.
I mean, I'm thinking of you know, just having to pack all this stuff up and butch it in and out.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I keep asking myself, why did I fall in love with this heavy art
instead
form?
of something like earrings?
I know.
You know that it's like,
I tried jewelry, and it's
wasn't your
so
thing.
tiny.
No, this is big. Like you say, this is big and bold and empowering for you. And
it
you know what?
is.
You have a big personality too. So I can see why you would like this.
Yeah, I love it.
It's incredible.
It's addicting.
So it's going to be a fabulous year.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a busy year. I tend to stay busy. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I really want to thank you, Cristi, for being here today.
It's awesome.
So, do you want to just reiterate where you're located for people who might not be familiar?
Yeah. So we are on Highway 18 between McMinnville and Sheridan, right on the highway. And as everybody stops there, I've been driving by 1,000 times, and I'm finally stopping today. So.
Does that just crack you up?
Oh, yeah.
I completely get it.
So, come out. We're open 7 days a week, 10 to 5. I always say if you're going to make a special trip out, then give us a call. But generally, we're open. And like I said, we have an indoor gallery there. We represent several other artists. And 2 acres of beautiful gardens.
It's absolutely lovely.
Well,
thank you so much for being here today.
It's fun.
This is fascinating. I had no idea. So I learned a lot from you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.